Hello programmers, welcome to the series of Pandas Dataframe tutorial. In this class we are going to look at how to handle missing values in Pandas. So often we have seen that whenever we download a data set or when we create a file, at times there are some missing values. Like I have a CSV file, the name of the file is a student, which I have created in Excel, and with .csv extension I have saved it. So this way I have created a CSV file. As you can see in this file, I have so many missing data. So as you can see, there are 17 students, and these are the subject, and the students are getting marks for these subjects, but few students have not appeared for the exams, and that's the reason they are not getting any marks. So what I can do is I can when I am calling or reading this file, I can fill this missing value with some value. How we are going to do this? So in this class we are going to see 4 methods. First one is the FillAny. So first of all, let me import this file. I have taken import pandas as pd. Now created a data frame object, and pd dot, as I told you, it's a CSV file, so using CSV, read CSV as the method name, and the name of the file, I have to just give the file name as I have saved it in the same folder where this file is saved. Okay, and the name of the file is student only, so just writing the name of the file, which is a student, and .csv is the extension for CSV files. Now what I am going to do is I am going to print this data frame object. Now as you can see, while reading the file, let me show you the original data. This is the original file, and when I am reading this file, you can see there are so many missing data. Like for this roll number 104, you can see maths mark is not there, so we are getting NaN. NaN is not a number. So the same is for social and Hindi for roll number 104 only. Here also we are getting this NaN. So what we can do to replace this NaN? See, we'll get this NaN where we have null values. So we can even check the places where we have this NaN by using data frame and .isnull. So isnull will give us the answer in the form of true and false. So I am going to use another data frame object. Let it be df1, and I am going to print this df1. So when I print it, as you can see, false means it is not null, and where there is true, that means it is null. Let me show you. This is the original data CSV file, and as you can see, for our roll number we have false. That means there is no any place where we have NaN or null value. For name also we don't have any NaN or null. For maths, as you can see in our 4th record, we have true. True means, as you can see, there is no any value, or we have a null value. So you can use this is null to get the true or false. Okay. Now you can even get the sum of it by using make changes in that only. So I can get the sum of it, that means how many places we have this null value. Shift and enter, as you can see. So it will give me, for this column roll number, we don't have any place where we have null values. For name also, and for maths we have 3 places. Let us check the original data. For maths 1, 2 and 3, as you can see, there are 3 records where we have this null value. So that's the reason we are getting this 3. Okay. For science we have 2 places. So for science you can see there are 2 places only. Okay. And the same is the case with social. We have 2 places. Okay. For Hindi 2. So this way you can get the sum of it. And if you don't want in this form, you can even use .sum, and this will give you the total number of null values. That means there are 12 places where we have null values. Now when we know we have so many null values, let us see the ways how we can deal with it. So the first method we are going to see is FillAny. So I am going to mark down, and then let me Okay, I'm going to use FillAny method first. Okay, now in this, let me first show you the syntax of FillAny. So this is data frame object and dot FillAny. So it can take these arguments, it can take value, method, access, in place. In place I already discussed in our last classes. You can set limit and downcast. So let us see these arguments. Now what I am going to do is I am using data frame object 1 is equal to and df dot FillAny. So this is the method. Now the argument which I am giving here is 0. That means FillAny with 0 and shift and enter. Let me print this data frame, and as you can see, wherever we have the missing values, like I told you in fourth record, you can see for maths we were having the null value, so we are getting 0 in place of NaN. For 107 maths also, for 107 maths we are getting 0. So you can fill with any value. You can even use argument value, and then you can use you can give any value. For example, I'll give maybe 10, and if I use let me print this here only, df1, okay, and shift and enter. Now you can see this in our roll number 104, we are getting, instead of NaN or 0, we are getting 10.0. For 107 also we are getting 10.0. So wherever you are getting this 10.0, that means it has NaN value. For 107 you can see these two records we are getting 10.0. okay, for the last one also we are getting 10.0, these two records. So that means you can fill it with 0 or any value. You can even use argument as value and set the value. See, even you can set the value for few columns only. How you can do that? You can use a data frame. I'm using data frame 1 and then data frame object. You can use here LOC. Now in this LOC, we have seen in our last class, what is LOC, and this first is for the rows. So I am saying all the rows, and but for the columns I am giving the value as maybe maths. I want for maths and for maybe Hindi. Okay, so for maths and Hindi I want Pandas to fill it with 40. okay, and let me print this data frame object and shift and enter. Now as you can see, it will show me all the records of maths and Hindi only, and it will fill it with 40. Let us see, compare it with our original data frame. So for maths you can see for 104 we are getting 40, and for Hindi for the same record we are getting 40 here. So this way you can fill it for few columns or few rows even, and you can provide the value. Okay, now let us see another method. Now in this, what we are going to do, we are going to provide different value for different columns. So for this I'll be using FillAny only, FillAny, and now I am going to provide the dictionary. In this dictionary I'll provide my columns, like I am saying maths, it is maths, and so I am going to provide value for maths as maybe 30, and for I want for science also, I want absent to be written for science. Okay, so here I am providing two different values for two different columns, and now if I execute it, data frame 1, now as you can see for maths we are getting 30, and for science we have provided absent. So okay, as you can see there were two places. Let us see our original data. This is in 107 also we are getting absent, and for science for 114. So here also we are getting absent, and for maths we are getting 30 in 104, 107, 114, 30 and 30 here and 30 here. So this way you can provide different values for different column. You can fill with any value for different columns. Okay, now let us see another argument of FillAny. So again data frame df1, and here I'll be using FillAny, and I am going to use argument which is method. As we have seen, method is the argument. We have seen how we can use value. Okay, so method is another argument. We are going to use method. Now in this I am going to provide value as ffill. Now what is this ffill? When I execute it, as you can see, ffill like in this case, it is filling with the previous value. Okay, so if we want to carry forward the value, we can use this ffill, which is forward fill. Okay, so as you can see in our this is the original data set, and like in 107 also we are getting 87. So 87 was the previous cell's value. So you can use this forward fill when you want to fill the next cell with the same value. Now what if you want to fill the cell with the backward value? Okay, backward value means like 105's data I want in place of 89. So I can use here bfill. So when you use bfill, as you can see, we are getting 90 instead of getting 89. Okay, so this way you can use ffill or backfill. Okay, instead of ffill you can even use pad. Okay, let me show you. Pad can also be used instead of ffill. So as you can see, it is filling the next cell with the same value. So PAD can be used or ffill can be used. Now one more thing is, you can provide another argument which is axis. Axis, as you can see in our the syntax, there is axis also as an argument. That means you can provide here axis. Which axis? Like I am saying 1. 1 means column. So shift and enter, that means. Now as you can see, we are saying axis is equal to 1. That means fill it with the previous cell's value. Okay, so as it was Amar written here, so this is, we are saying column wise. That's why we are getting here Amar. For Ashu also we are getting Ashu. Okay, you can use here bfill. You can use here bfill also. Like you can see, we are getting 34. Okay, backward fill, column wise we are saying. Instead of 1 you can even write columns, columns. You'll get the same answer. You'll get the same answer. Now instead of column you can provide the value of rows also. That means 0. So here we'll get the value 0. Like 90 we are getting, we are saying backfill, but axis should be row only. So that's the reason we are getting here 90. That means backward fill. Okay, the same is with Ashu. 67, you can see this 67 is filled here. Okay, so this way you can use a method argument and you can provide the axis. Okay, now let us see like in this case for 107 and 108, there are 2 NaN for English. So when we are saying backward fill, that means 67 is filled in these 2 cells. So you can do one more thing, you can provide the limit. You can provide the limit. If you want, instead of these 2 cells to be filled with the backward value, you can set the limit, or you can provide any limit. Like I'll provide here limit is equal to 1. That means I'm telling fill only one cell with the backward fill. Okay, now if you see in one cell only 67 is filled, in another cell we are getting NaN. See this, we are getting 67 for this cell, and for this 107 we are getting NaN. So you can provide limit also, and you can give any value. You can set it to 1 or 2. Okay, that means copy to only one cell. When we are saying limit is equal to 1, that means we are saying copy to only one cell. But I am still not satisfied with the missing values which I am getting here. So the person has not given the exam, and then also he is getting 67 or maybe 87. So what I can do is I can replace this values, or I can fill this missing values with the average value or a mean value or a minimum value or a maximum value. So that also you can do by using a method. You can fill data frame 1 data frame dot FillAny. Now in this you can provide the value as equal to data frame. I am going to change for maths only, so that is maths, and just do the mean of the marks. Okay, and I am going to print my data frame. Now as you can see, instead of getting the previous cell's value or the next cell's value, we are getting the mean of the marks. Okay, you can even fill it with the minimum value. How you can do that? I'll just copy this, and I am going to use MIN. That means fill it with the minimum value. So for maths only I have done this. That means for maths the minimum value is 32, and wherever it is NA, fill it with 32 only. So in as we have seen in our 107 roll number, 104 we are getting 32. So why? Because we have used min here. Instead of min you can use even max also, but this will not be this is not a good example for filling this max. Okay, so as 90 was the maximum mark, and we are getting 90 in place of NaN. So these are the different ways you can fill your NaN with different values. Now let us see our second method, which is dropna. First of all, let us see the syntax of it. So this is dropna, and it can take access, how, thresh, subset, and in place. Now first of all, let me use this for, I am going to show you dropna method. Okay, so now through this first of all let me show you my data frame. So this is the data frame. So many places we are getting NaN. So now what I can do is I can drop wherever I have this NaN by using dropna, and if I am not giving any argument, and sorry, df1. Now if you can see, our roll number 104 was having NA, 107 was having NA. You can see in this 104, 107, 1014. So 104, there is no any row for 104, 107. That means these rows are dropped. So through this dropna you can drop the data having NaN. Okay, now you can give other arguments also, like I am going to use how, and in this I am going to provide any as the value. Okay, now shift and enter. That means I am telling pandas to drop the rows where we have even one NaN. So as we can see in 104 we have NaN, so 104 is dropped. After this 105 no 107, again 107 is dropped. In 108 there was one NaN, 108 is also dropped. 111 is also dropped. 114 is also dropped, and even 115 we have one NaN, so that is also dropped. So this way you can use, even 116 has NaN, so it is also dropped. So you can use any, and you can even use all. So all means if you have NaN for all the record, for all the columns, then drop the particular record. Okay, but in this we don't have any such record where we have all values null. So we are not going to use this, we cannot use this all. So we can only use any in our case. Okay, we have seen how we can fill our NA. We have even seen how we can drop the records with NA. Now let us see how we can use another method, which is interpolate. So for this, I'll just use this markdown and interpolate. So I'm going to use this interpolate method. Now whatever ways we have seen till now, like FillAny, we are using backward fill, forward fill, or we are even dropping the rows with any values. So these methods can be good for this particular data set. But consider a situation when we want to get some value which is in between the missing the value of the previous cell or the next cell. In such cases we can use interpolate method. Like I'll show you. I'll use data frame 1 is equal to df dot interpolate is the method, and when I print my data frame, now as you can see in this, let me show you the original data. Now in 104 we have a missing value here, and we are getting result as 89.5. In the previous cell it was 89.0, and for the next cell it is 90.0. So this is somewhere in between these two values. So you can use interpolate to make a better guess on the missing values. Okay, so this comes up with a better guess, which is linear interpolation. That means you are gradually transiting and you are having an intermediate data point here. Okay, so you can use this interpolate method when you want to come up with a middle value. Okay, like in this cell also, that is for 107, the value was 87.0 in the previous cell and 67.0. It came up with a middle value, okay, which is 77.0. So this way you can use interpolate. You can even use interpolate for one particular column. Like I'll show you. I'll use data frame 1, and here I'll use data frame, and I'll use it for maybe maths only, for maths, and then dot interpolate. Now you can use the arguments, like I'll show you the syntax of interpolate. So this is the syntax of interpolate, where there are arguments like method, and linear is the default value for method. Axis, limit, in place, limit direction, limit area, downcast. So many arguments you can use in interpolate. I'll show you one argument, like we can use method, and we can provide here a value as maybe linear. And now I'll display my data frame, shift and enter. Now you can see this is we are using interpolate for our maths column only. Let me show you this maths column. This is 45, 67, 89, and 89.5 is the this was the missing value, and we are getting a value which is in between 89 and 90, which is 89.5. Again for 107, 90, 87, this we are getting 77. So this way you can use interpolate method. Now the last method which we are going to see today is replace method. So I'll just mark down, and we are going to use replace method. So in this you can replace your nan. I am going to use .replace. Okay, now but the problem is as I want to use what I want to mention here, not a number value. So for this I have to import numpy first of all. So first of all I'll import numpy as np. Now in this replace I am going to use to replace method. So this is the method, and here I'll use np.nan. That means replace wherever we have this nan with the value. Now you can provide any value here, like you can use I'm going to use 5. Okay, now shift and enter, just a minute, shift and enter. Now you can see this, wherever we have this nan we are getting 5 as our value. So this is not only for nan, you can replace any of the value even, like I can replace wherever we have 45, wherever we have 45 replace it with 5. Okay, now can you see this? I'll show the original data. So for Ajay maths it was 45. So this way you can replace any of the value with any alternative value. So these are all the methods of handling, these are all the ways for handling the missing values in our data frame. So friends, that's all for this class. We'll see more about data frame in our next class. Please do remember to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. That's all for today's class. Thank you so much for watching.